So, according to the 2016 Women's Health Survey, 1 in 4 Jamaican women have suffered physical violence at the hands of their partner. Our next guest is a brave woman who survived an abusive relationship. Domestic abuse survivor advocate Tracy Ann Harridge joins us now to share her story. Morning, Tracy Ann. Welcome to Smile Jamaica. It's morning time.
Morning, Neville. Thanks for having me.
I hope,
Morning to your viewers.
yeah, man, I hope you are well.
Thank you, I am.
How much about your story you can share with us?
I can share everything about my story.
Tell me what happened.
All right, so back in 2006, the latter part of 2007, 2008, what happened, I was in college and I met this young man. He was studying theology. And you know, young girls would have grown with both parents. You would want somebody who emulates that of your father. And so I was looking for someone who has the same attributes that my father possessed. And what happened, I saw this gentleman. He showed me every single thing. He was a perfect gentleman to me in my eyes. I looked for everything to hate this gentleman, and he gave me every reason to love him. And it so happened that we were there having fun in the relationship. And it wasn't until I was pregnant, 2009, my first trauma started. I was on the phone speaking to one of my friends one day because I was in the room sitting on the edge of the bed. And one of my friends called me stating that she was having some issues with her relationship. Her boyfriend was hitting her. So I was like, they're saying, look, you can't make no man beat you, you see me in a no relationship and make no man beat me. And I was there just talking to her and encouraging her to get out of the situation. And my partner was there and he came over and he pushed me. At that time, I was about 7 or 8 months pregnant. And he pushed me on the bed and he gave me a big box right in my face. And I can remember his mother was there because she was living overseas, but she came for a funeral and she was there. And I told her, she actually heard. And I went outside on the veranda and I told her what happened. And she told me that you were wrong. You weren't supposed to be talking about those things in front of him. And I took a long walk outside of the house. I walked in the scheme for a couple hours well, and I came back in the evening and I went to bed and we didn't talk about anything. And it happened for 10 long years. I remember, I'm going to give you some cases that happened in the 10 years that we were living together, because every week I would experience some form of violence from him. And I can also remember one evening I was working at a particular loan institution. And you know, on Fridays, persons don't really want to cook. You want to just enjoy your Friday evenings and having takeouts. And I can recall I called him and I asked him if it is that he wanted chicken and fries. And because it was a KFC, it was a very good restaurant in the area, and I wanted to buy chicken and fries for the family. And I called him asking him if he wanted chicken and fries. And he said, why are you going to buy it? And I said, it's Friday. And you know, I don't want to cook. So I want to purchase fried chicken and fries for us. And he said, no, don't buy any for me. And I didn't buy any for him. When I went home with the fries, because at that time I would have had 2 girls for him. When I went home with the fries and he asked me what happened to mine, I said, you told me I'm not supposed to buy any for you. And the kicking and the beating and everything started there after he told me not to buy any for him, you know. And
sorry to jump in. I have so many questions. You said 10 years. Why did you stay for 10 years?
All right. I would have grown in a Christian household, and society would have told us that if it is that you get involved in a relationship, especially with children there, we were taught that we're supposed to get married, we're supposed to grow children the right way with both parents. And I stayed for the children. I also was protecting my father, because my father, a madman. No way on earth my father would know that somebody is abusing his child, his precious daughter, because I was the only daughter at that time. And my father wouldn't know that his daughter was being abused and not doing anything about it. And I can tell you, if my father had known about it at that time, chances are right now my father would be in jail. So I was protecting him. I was ashamed as well. And I was protecting my children because I wanted them to grow in the same household with both parents. And I was paying mortgage for the house.
Yeah.
I was paying mortgage for the house, and to get out of it, I didn't think that that was an option for me at the time.
What made you leave?
All right. It happened that the final 2017, we were involved in an argument, and I had a youth group in Tidixna because I was involved in the police youth club. And what happened was I invited someone to be a guest speaker. And he came to the meeting, did his motivational speech and all of that. But at the time in Tidixna, a country place that. So if you want to talk on your phone, you have to go way up in the hills and hold up the phone in the ear to get some signal. So I went home the Monday morning. And when I went home, I saw all the WhatsApp messages coming in. And I said, I'm going to reach out to the gentleman to tell him thanks. I called him, and the gentleman saw me on the phone. And, the story started. And he was upset. He started running me around the house inside out with a machete, trying to hurt me with it. And you know what happened? He came inside the house, and I slammed his hand between the door, and the machete dropped. I quickly picked it up and I ran outside, because at that time we had a drum outside with water. And I ran outside and I dropped the machete in the drum. And I came back inside because I couldn't get out the gate because the gates were locked. And you see how I am fluffy now? At that time I had on more weight. So to jump the wall, it was not an option for me. I couldn't jump the wall. Yeah. So I had to be running around outside and inside of the house. And I can remember he caught me and he slammed my hand in the door, and that was how he was able to catch me. And he pushed me on the bed, started choking me and all of that, hit my head on the bed head. And I can recall I was literally seeing angels. Never believe me when I say I was seeing angels. I was literally seeing angels there. And I can recall saying to God, you really are going to make me dead, left me picnic them? And let me tell you, I don't know where the strength came from, but I remember he had hernia at the time. And I got a strength, and I kicked him in his tummy, and that was how he got off of me. And I quickly ran outside. The police was there because my neighbor would have heard the situation, and she called the police. And I went outside, and I never looked back from that day, yeah. June 2017.
I'm so sorry to put you through all this. How did it affect your kids?
It affected them mentally, physically, emotionally, psychologically, because I had to seek counseling for them. I had to get counselor for them. And my children I started seeing some level of anger within them, and I knew that was not my children. And it wasn't until speaking to the counselors I realized that it was the situations that they would have seen, the violent behavior in the household that caused them to be so angry.
They're all right now?
I didn't hear you.
They're okay now?
They are still going through the phase, because it's not going to happen overnight. So they're still going through the sessions.
Are you okay now?
I am okay.
You sure?
I am okay. Yes, sure? I am. I am okay. Thanks for asking.
Yeah. I know you are an advocate. What do you want to tell people who have gone through, who are going through what you have gone through? What do you want to say to them?
I want to tell them to be positive, get out of the situation now. I don't want you to wait for the next second or the next minute. The houses that you built together, you can build them again. The cars that you bought together, you can build them again. Get out of the situation now. Get out alive while you can, because the bottom line of the situation is for you to get out alive. I went through it. I'm an advocate for victims of domestic violence. We have a support group here that we have trained counselors working with. We have survivors, because I don't call myself a survivor, I call myself a survivor, right? And so we have persons working with, and I'm just appealing to persons to partner with us. I would love to partner with the ministries, because it's no longer a victim and a perpetrator, a victim and abuser situation. It's a national thing, it's an international thing, as a matter of fact. We all have to come together.
Yeah, sorry to jump in again. This is iSeed, right?
iSeed, I'm the founder of the youth group, yeah. iSeed, yeah. And the name of the movement is Get Out Alive World. And we partner with the Greater Portmore Joint Council as well, because they've been doing a lot of trainings, especially with retired Deputy Commissioner Novelet Grant. They've been doing a lot of work in the communities. And the Police Youth Club, we work closely with them as well. We have a lot of youths who really want to help, but they need the trainings, because even though a lot of them are working with my team, team. We really need to get them trained to say in conflict resolution, how it is that you approach a victim, how it is that you work with them. So we're just encouraging persons to come on board and to get us where it is that we want to eliminate domestic violence in our country right now.
Yeah, you said your kids had to get counseling. Did you have to get counseling also?
Yes, I had to, because and another thing is, when it is that you're out of the situation, what happens is sometimes when you hear a vehicle passes or any sound at all, it triggers certain things, and so you really have to get counseling on those things.
Okay. You said your husband was studying theology?
Yes, he was.
And did all of that?
Yes, he did.
Again,
yes,
I'm happy that you shared the story, because I'm hoping it will help others. I'm sorry I had to put you through all this, but thank God you and your kids are okay now. Stay safe. God bless you. Look after yourself.
Thank you so much, and it was great being here. And before I go, my daughter asked me to tell you to big her up on TV. Her name is Kimoya Brown. She said, tell Uncle Neville, I don't know how she knew that I was going to speak to you, but she told me to tell Uncle Neville to big her up
What's
on
her name?
TV.
Kimoya
Brown.
What school does she go to?
Greater Portmore Primary School.
All right, tell her I love her.
All right, I will. Take care now.
God bless you. Tracy
thank you.
Harridge, domestic abuser, survivor and advocate. Boy, still to come the details on ATL's Chilla Yard AC Summer Sale. But first, the second edition of News in 5 right now.